All right, welcome back. Welcome back. How to ask for a DNA test? Let me correct that from your wife. Okay, precisely from your wife. Ladies, if you're a lady in the chat, how would you prefer somebody come to you and ask you for a DNA test? What are your ways of checking? Let me see here. I think we have a video here that I want to play. You posted this.
Oh, okay.
As usual.
Said,
You posted this. All right. Let's see. How would you like? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Why did it go into the other page? It's weird. Yeah, stay right here, homie. There you go. All right. Let's share this page. There's this gentleman. Let's see his name. Shout out to this gentleman, Boss Studios, BOTSTUDOZ. Let's just make sure that he has something to say about. There's this weird story that came out, but I really wanted to handle it from a standpoint of how to ask for a DNA test. But let's get through the story first, then we'll take it from there. Right? Let me refresh. All right.
Another prank. So this man reached out to me and told me that he wants me to tell the wife that he is in the process of doing a DNA test, a paternity test, and that's sincerely, I was scared when he told me. I thought it was a joke, but it's for real because I'm here now. He wants to know if the children are his own. So let me call her now. She's not picking. Hello.
hello.
Yeah, good evening, Mar.
Good evening. Good evening.
Please, I am calling you from hospital.
Hospital. Yes.
Yes, there has been an emergency, please, and that's why I'm reaching out to you.
Emergency. What happened?
You don't need to panic, please.
Emergency,
It's not,
emergency.
Like anything happened to anyone. Your husband is in the. I just need to say this in strict confidence. Your husband came to us and is in the process of doing a DNA paternity test. He has taken the samples and we are just about to go ahead with it. But I just reached out to you so that you'll be aware at least, and we can discuss.
Hey, please. What do you mean by that?
All right. So it's not even the husband asking now. A complete stranger, sounds like, called and the husband was with him and called the wife, right? Okay. Listen, if we're going to address any of these topics, we need to address where the fear is coming from. A lot of people's rhetoric is coming from a place of fear, including let's wait for a while before we have children. Let me see what Natu said here. It is not a wise idea because the egg reserved for the woman decreases as she ages. That's another good point. But ladies in general don't like to hear that. It sounds, what does it sound like? Not body shaming, but it sounds disrespectful, I guess.
I mean, if they
Like you're telling women,
look,
what is it that's insensitive about that?
The
There's something about
problem
that.
with the world is the problem. The world has become so sensitive.
Oh, okay, so they're just sensitive.
No matter what you say, someone is always taking an offense.
Taking an offense.
What she said is not wrong medically.
No, it's literally facts.
Your eggs will rot.
Yeah.
Now, again, do what you want, but you gotta deal with the consequences of that.
Yeah.
Or you could freeze your eggs. People do that.
You're sounding like she when he was here yesterday. She was like, I don't want to offend anybody. I don't want to bring smoke. But she wants to tell you the truth. She wants to basically tell you that, hey, this is reality. Certain decisions will carry consequences.
Not reality now. Now, how God created us be that. Period.
Yeah. But I think it lands better when a woman is telling a woman. So.
Does it really?
I think so, yeah.
Because there are also women who push back against women. Like,
that's true.
You can't really say anything these days. The world need a little bit of tough skin. Okay, it's okay. Tough love is okay.
I don't hear Amo.
It's just a little balance because anytime you push me and say you push me out of my comfort zone, guess what that takes me to? It takes me to a higher place in life.
Okay, let's continue this. So basically, A complete stranger is asking, but just look at how she reacts first, in spite of the fact that they will see the facts later on.
It's a DNA test.
DNA
yes.
test.
Yes,
How?
please. I don't understand.
Please, my dear. If this is a
Make
prank,
sure you're following Lola on Instagram.
Who are
Okay,
you, please?
that's where she posts them
My
like literally
husband,
every
I know
day.
my husband very well, and I know myself. My husband trusts me. And you see, my children, my lovely children, they are for my husband. Please, don't you ever call my number again. Do you understand?
Ma, it's not.
Stop the cap.
It's not like that. It's not like that. Please.
You are mad. You are stupid, idiot. Don't call my number again, oh. Nonsense.
Eh?
Will you keep quiet?
Madam.
Is it that you don't understand English? I said,
Mad-
don't call my number again.
Madam, calm down.
He called back.
Eh? Madam, calm
she
down.
hung
Are you
up.
not Mrs. Dorothy Ogbonna?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
And your
Knowing my name is not enough reason.
madam,
It's
your
not enough evidence.
your children, listen, madam. Your children are Ugochukwu, Chinenye, and Lovett Ogbonna. I have the samples right in front of me. Eh, madam?
DNA samples. He already took them.
Hello?
So he didn't even ask for it.
Yes, I told you. Yes, it was your husband that reached out to us. Yes. So,
Brought about the suspicion.
see, madam, that's not the issue. But me, I'm
She said,
just,
what brought about
can
the
you just,
suspicion?
let's take this one step at a time. Can you just please
That's a good
tell
question.
me,
Yeah,
it's
it
in
is.
strict confidence, are the children yours, like your husband's children? If they are not your husband's children, you tell me. Nobody will hear about it. So we know what to do. Because by the time this gets to our director's desk, and then they forward it out of the country, it usually takes a fortnight, that is 2 weeks. When the results come back, it will be out of my hand. So that I don't push, yes, so that I don't push it out there. Please, you just tell me if the children are yours, the 3 children. Are they your children, your husband's children rather? Just tell me. Hello?
But please, sir, can I trust you?
Madam,
Eh? Voila.
you've not met me.
Voila, wa.
Tell me.
Everything is strange.
Yeah, I
Now you're
understand.
calling my children's name.
Ma, I understand. I even have your address right in front of me. I understand these things. And this where I'm calling you.
Jesus.
Come on, she lost her power real quick.
Yes, you.
Wàhálà Nàìjíríà don rip us o àti kó sáwọn kọlu. Wàhálà.
Jesus Christ. That's some crazy stuff right there. Alright, so before we continue that video, hey cherished Olivia TV, welcome to the Orieto.
Wow.
Tima says, I don't think I'll be offended by that. Go ahead and do you, sir. Let me ask you a question, Tima. On a scale of 1 to 100, percentage wise, even if the woman is not guilty, how many women, what percentage of women do you think will be offended by this question? That would be my follow-up question for you. What's the percentage of women that will be offended, in your opinion? Me, I can't waste my life speaking English. I say, don't even give them a reason to think about that. Why should they fear? Okay. So, there's a lot of conversations going on the internet about DNA. I think some men are really, really starting to engage the fear of. There are men that are not even married yet. They say, I'm doing DNA tests. I don't care. So it's not always you give them the reason to. It could be society, environmental factors that gives them the reason.
Society is a big one.
To want this. Yeah, we're in that space right now. Maybe 10 years ago, there wasn't too much talk about Jamaican and Nigerian women committing paternity fraud.
So it's now Jamaica and Nigeria.
Those are the two top
That's the
countries.
highest numbers.
Yes, in paternity fraud in the world.
Paternity fraud.
You didn't know that?
Kill these people. Are they sure that's the number?
No, that's the data.
I just feel like sometimes I'm like, are you kidding me? You're telling me that most Nigerian women are giving their husbands bastards. I'm sorry to use that word.
You said most Nigerian women are doing it?
Is that what they are telling me right now?
No, they are just top. country.
Okay.
Not necessarily majority.
Because it could also be a small percentage.
No, it's still a small percentage.
Because
Let me see if I can find
travel very fast.
Yeah.
Up till today, I don't even know anyone like that. That's the funny thing.
Yeah. We're only hearing it. Most of you are only seeing it on social media.
And now everybody's
right?
paranoid.
Maybe there's somebody here, that watched this, and you know somebody family member. But most of you are seeing this news on social media. It doesn't mean it's not real. It's real.
And
but just say most of you don't know anybody
around thinking every woman is like this. Are you kidding me?
Well, that's what fear does.
Well, you will attract that kind of woman, and you deserve what you get. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm hearing the Jamaican one for the first time. And you know Jamaicans are also top there. I thought it was just Nigerian women. And I'm like, this is not even fair.
What's not fair? The fact that they are counting them.
The Nigerian women are being looked at. Like
Jamaica has the highest, it seems.
They do.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to see what percentage is. They're saying 30% failed DNA test. That's a lot.
That is high.
That is a lot. Okay.
Maybe
I don't know how reliable that is, but 30% is high.
Can we blame some of this on Nollywood? Because sometimes what you watch is what you you start to do sometimes. I'm sorry.
Well,
stuff like this I used to see in the movies.
Well, let's slow down. It's not that direct, because then it starts to sound like somebody did somebody from somebody's village.
No, I'm just saying.
Right.
Sometimes we're showing people to do certain things.
How are we going to train you to commit fraud?
If you move around, if all your friends are can I finish my thoughts?
Okay.
If you surround yourself with Yahoo boys and you tell yourself, I'm a great guy, I would never do that. My parents raised me different. It's only a matter of time. Before you actually do the thing you think that you are not capable of doing.
Paternity fraud. Let's talk about paternity fraud. That's an extreme.
And I'm also talking about sometimes what people surround themselves with. They feel like they can get away with something because they saw somebody else
it becomes like a culture or something.
It becomes a culture. Why is this freaking 30%, man?
Okay, so it becomes a Ayenshewe kind of thing.
Ayenshewe.
That's...
Anyway. Whatever you surround yourself with would expand at some point. That's all I'm saying.
Anyway, let's be clear.
It becomes a trend.
I agree with you, but let's be clear. If you happen to watch this video and you committed paternity fraud, you're a bad person now.
Yeah, keep that in mind, because
let's just keep that at the back of your mind.
You are purposely doing something wrong to somebody.
And one of the things that men are talking about is that there's no consequences. There's no consequences by law.
There can't be consequences for that.
Yeah.
Is there consequences for cheating? There's no consequences.
My wife, shout out to my beautiful wife. She just literally put paternity fraud right next to
Look, I'm not
cheating.
making excuses, but I'm saying there's a reason why there's no consequences for it. Just like you cannot go and sentence someone to death because they slept with your husband. I'm sorry. Look.
She just literally put paternity fraud right next to cheating.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
Well, by definition, it's actually cheating. Paternity fraud is cheating by definition. It means you do something you wouldn't want your partner to know about. That's what it means. But that's on paper. The consequences, it's not the same thing. The effect emotionally, because of our social constructs, you destroy that man.
You are, and that's not good.
Just shout out to Nedu, because I have empathy for what he went through. Yeah, you see how he talks? Can you tell in the way he talks that the way he looks at women is not the same?
It's been impacted. It's impacted for life, actually.
Yeah, it's not. Emotionally, because of the social construct that we both genders subscribe to, it's not the same effect. Women, you yourself, you will give a pass to a person that cheats, outside. Then you will give faster pass to that person than paternity fraud.
Isn't it the same Ayenshewe? Right?
No. Paternity fraud is not Ayenshewe.
No.
Even according to women.
I'm talking about cheating.
Yeah.
Like when men cheat, there's no consequences for it. Shebi is a man. That's what men do.
No, but even women don't put that on the same gauge. They don't put paternity fraud.
And I understand that, but it starts from little things like that, to the extent that men also create families out there.
You guys are about to watch me and my wife argue on
and then when the man dies, this brand new family just appear from nowhere. Oh, he had a whole life. A double life.
Okay, so forget men for a second. Per women, that's not the same thing. Per most women,
I agree with you. What you
social construct is a real thing.
It's a
even per women, that's not the same thing.
Look, I'm empathizing with whoever is going through that. It's a terrible thing to happen to anyone.
We need to acknowledge that first.
And I'm acknowledging it. It's very bad. Yeah. But because of somebody has done that to somebody, you now come at me and tell me you want a DNA test because you just had someone's wife. Come on. Dude, make it make sense.
Are you disagreeing with Tima?
Make it make sense. What's going on here? Because now that means we have no trust.
Are you disagreeing with Tima?
I have done what the other woman has done, which is not fair. I'm not saying don't go and do your DNA test, but don't come and ask me for permission.
No, wait.
Because I will drag you with you.
Are you saying you will be offended?
Absolutely.
You'll be offended.
Because I'm a human being. I'm a woman. I know what I did. I know my kids are yours.
So, and you're saying that
tell me some nonsense.
Because you're offended, not because you actually committed, because the rhetorics from people like Tima is that.
What do you mean people like Tima?
My sister, she gets it. I'll drag her small. Wait. Let me drag her small. The point she's making is if you are offended by that, it means you must be guilty of something.
No, I'm not. I just feel like you don't trust me. That means why are we in this relationship? So you think I would do you like that? Just because somebody else did that? That's messed up. And how do we move on?
Where is D-Love? I feel like if D-Love was here, she'll be on the side of Tima.
Well, how do we move on after this DNA foolery that you went to do and you found out that these are all our kids that we have together? How do I move on from a man that does not trust me?
Okay.
To me that makes sense.
But
so I should just back up and say, you didn't do anything. Why are you offended? No, it doesn't work that way. I'm insulted. I'm offended that you're comparing me to some other numbskull that did that to her husband.
Now, the woman. Let's go back to the woman that woman is obviously guilty.
Very guilty.
All right. So let's before I go through this, because that's a different thing from asking. It's a little bit different from randomly asking your wife for DNA test, right? But this woman, from what we just heard,
right?
Yeah, that sounds like she's guilty, and I want us to complete that video. But before we continue, let me see. I can't waste my life speaking English. I say don't even give them the reason. Okay, so we already addressed that. I will let you do the test and make you look like a fool when the result comes back. Wait.
I will drag you. Woto.
Is that the end? As long as I look like a fool, is that the end?
Will
you be okay? Will you be okay if I look like a fool? How long will my suffering be?
It depends on my mom.
So my problem will not go away just because I find out that they're my kids. Is that what you're saying?
It will never go away.
That problem of lack of trust.
You already broke what we have. If you don't have trust for someone, you shouldn't be with that person. That's toxic.
Yeah. Hey. After all, those colorful words, she became humble. Just find out guilty people are quick to throw insults.
She not do well.
That's true. So a reaction I would get from my wife, I would expect to get from my wife if I randomly ask her for DNA of my kids, we'd be like,
where's that coming from?
What happened? Not start cursing me out, just like not cursing me out. But again, to be fair, that's a complete stranger that was calling. But we've gotten to the point in the video where it's kind of obvious that she's guilty of something.
Honestly, another thing, why did she pick up again?
She just picked up random calls.
No, after she hung up on that guy.
Oh, she picked up again. She was curious. Because it was that's a good point. Because if that was a complete strange thing, you just like, what kind of weird?
What kind of mad person? I'm not picking up my phone.
Yeah, after that. If you are so good about download you wouldn't do that. Right.
But she was curious. She wanted to know more and how far this thing is going.
Yeah. After all, he just messed up. He said if the result goes the international and come back, so he's not doing the test himself.
Can you imagine?
Well, he doesn't need to do the test himself. We're looking at her reaction, right? So Daddy Freeze host said they must do DNA.
Daddy Freeze is about that now. But Daddy Freeze is also coming from a hot.
Daddy Freeze is coming from
He has a lot of healing to do.
That's how he can relate. So yeah, he doesn't.
I'm sorry.
He can only see things from a quote unquote pragmatic standpoint. He needs to spell out completely for him to get it. So yeah. Unfortunately, the people that will.
Did you hear Black Diamond? I like that. Black Diamond. I like that.
Which one? Well, if my husband asks for a DNA test, I'll give in. But after I've proven myself, he'd hear from my lawyers.
I'm not saying don't do it.
Yeah.
The reaction, the consequences. Be ready to deal with that too.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come and talk to someone like that and expect that everything. Am I a Stedford wife? I'm not.
What's a step forward?
Someone that will just be, yes, yes. Am I a mumu? I don't be mumu. Yeah. It's not going to stop at
these
the
people
DNA.
thought you were a submissive, feminine woman who is just always yes, ma, yes, ma.
I'm yes, sir to you.
Yeah, this is what these people think.
I'm sorry. I'm not that way. I'll reason with you, but nah, I'm not a mumu.
Mm-hmm. It's Cherry says it's a narrative that they are pushing on social media.
Exactly.
Ola would ever think of doing a DNA test for your kids? Would I ever think? Because I don't think Ola is giving you a reason to. Listen, if I'm thinking DNA test, since you've made it personal, it's because something has tampered with my ability to trust her. That's the underlying issue. Now, it doesn't have to be her fault. Again, it could be external factors that have tampered with my ability to trust. In that case, if it's external factor, I will have to equate that to insecurity. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Because if I feel insecure about my wife to the point where social media can influence my trust, then the social media, I don't want to make it absolute, but there's probably some trust issue already before with me. Not necessarily her. It could be, but not necessarily her giving me the reason to. If your environment in general influences you. So it's not just your wife. It's not just how she moves. That could be it. She could be moving mad too. But the point is that it could be internal factors that's influencing it. It could be external,
Yeah,
but
and I think external also is a big part of this.
It is.
Okay.
Now, especially now.
People will hear something, they'll just take that energy. They'll run over, take it to their spouse.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And that's the most important part for me. Obviously not for someone like Daddy Freeze. The most important part for me is that I can see deeper into the emotions of things, right? Not just it has to say on paper that you are 100% father. First of all, I can see my baby's face. They look like me in so many ways, even the one that look like her, right? So it's like I can see where it's coming from, but it's not healthy for majority of those 70% that will pass.
Yeah.
Because it says 30% fail, that's still a 70% that are passing. But if percentage of those 70% now, because negative news travel faster, they go more viral, will now have external factors influencing their decision to do a DNA test, even when the baby look like them. That's how trust is a very flaky thing. Trust is important. Yeah, you want to say something?
Oh yeah, I just remembered.
I'm like, why?
This stereotype that people usually have. Like for example, MK Abiola. Everybody knows that he had some, when he has kids, maybe they have his ears or they have something that looks like him. So they assume that any child that does not look like MK Abiola is a bastard. That is not true.
Yeah, that's not even scientifically sound.
How can that be accurate?
Yeah.
Guys, are you moving mad? It's the stereotypes for me. So if you go hear something outside and then you bring that energy to me, oh no.
Yeah.
You're going to do your DNA test, but I am dragging you with every power I have in me. Yeah. You will suffer, you won't suffer in Jesus' name.
Amen.
But
not me. You're not talking about me.
I'm not talking about you. I'm not giving you 100% of myself.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen, shout out to all 21 people listening to us right now. If you're getting value out of this, do me a favor. Somebody initiate the super chat. Give $5 or something. Come on. Give $5, initiate it, double each other, something, Show some appreciation if you're getting value from this. I'll appreciate it. Thank you.
$1 gone.
$1, I don't know, 99 cents, something. I don't care how small it is. I'll I appreciate that.
Don't go and become Daddy Freeze.
Just to show.
It's like sometimes the guy will cost people.
He will just stop the whole show for you.
Cost you
and
to give him money.
You out and
Like,
exactly.
wait, what?
Yep.
You know what? It works. They will start giving. I'm like, now wow.
Yes. Don't make
That's
me beg.
crazy.
Don't make me start prostrating and begging you for super chat. Don't do that.
Don't frustrate.
I might fine him lots of money for emotional distress when results show that he is the father. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot. You know, it's not. Listen, on paper it sounds so simple. It's just DNA. It's not a big deal. We're talking about trust.
Yeah,
that's precisely what we're talking about.
It doesn't end.
Yeah,
it's like that thing will still be on your mind sometimes. Like, how can this guy think of me like this? Like, after how much I've proved to you.
Yeah. Like,
I've always been there with you. You didn't catch me with anything shady. Yeah. Like, I would think you will fight for me. I'm your wife. Mm-hmm. And then because some Olori Buruku woman did that to her own husband.
Or because people are just actively talking about DNA tests.
It's not fair.
So there are men who are 55 years old right now listening to a 23-year-old man say, "I don't care. I'm gonna do DNA test. I don't care. I'm gonna do DNA test." And and then you start to, if you have insecurity issues, then you start to question yourself and say, "Hey, maybe that's not a bad idea. Maybe I've always had a question. Maybe, just maybe, I don't care. I'm gonna do DNA test.
Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
You know the flip side to this.
Sorry, baby. You know me. What DLL?
What
Atomo DLL. You know, I have to booty dance for this
booty
people.
dance.
Yeah, exactly. We have to. No, Kinu will help me.
What's going on?
Yeah, this guy will help me. What's his name again? Portable will help me. Shout out to Cherish Olivia TV. I appreciate that super chat. 35 ZAR. What's that? South Africa box? Something like that. ZAR, whatever. All right, I think we have one more from Natu. Natu is always supporting. I appreciate you, Natu. I appreciate you. This is a good break. Let me see. Natu, yeah, I know. I have to put it down for you too.
God.
All right, I think we have one more. Thank you so much. Yes, she says South Africans. Yes, awesome. We have Romari TB. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you.
We appreciate you.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate all of the support. Thank you. It means a lot. Let's continue the video. Let's finish the video.
Oh, I was gonna say the flip side before you continue. Babe.
What's the flip side?
The flip side is there's a man out there right now saying, "I don't want to find out. I love those kids. They're mine. I sowed the seed. I raised them." And there's some kids out there right now saying, "I don't care. That's not my father. It's still my father."
No, the reality, you know, a lot of men are running around the internet saying, "Why would you want to raise other people's kids?" First of all,
what?
It takes a special type of person to do that. You can't discount that. I understand if your little wiki small brain can't comprehend that. I get that. But the truth is that it's really whoever the baby is spending the most time with. That's the father, ultimately.
Okay. There's some father that they are not father. They're
That's not to justify the bullshit with paternity fraud.
Exactly.
But I'm just letting you know, it's not that deep. The 23-year-old mentors out there, relax, okay? So you don't attract what you fear the most.
Wait, 23-year-old mentor?
Yeah, they are mentoring a lot of 55, 53-year-old men.
Excuse me?
Because that man who listens to that long enough will actually go back home and attempt to ask his wife for DNA.
A man's cortex does not develop until he's actually 26. You will take advice from a 23.
They are. I'm telling you right now. Not even 23-year-old man.
Don't be juju me that.
26-year-old woman. We'll leave another topic. Another topic entirely. Right. Let's continue the video, Yeah, I'm telling you.
It's problematic.
It's true, some men don't want to find out actually. So I think I don't want to celebrate men that don't want to find out. I want to celebrate men that are so sure of themselves. Like, what? Are you mad? I'm the king. Of course, those are my babies. That mindset. Those are the men I want to celebrate. Right. Those kind of men, there's no 23-year-old man that can say, I don't care. There's no 23-year-old that can convince them because they're so sure of themselves. So even if that has happened, they're so sure of themselves that they can't relate with you. But there are also men that are insecure enough to be mentored by 23-year-old men on the internet. Let's not get it twisted. But those are the different nuances there. None of this justify paternity fraud. It's a complete evil act.
It's terrible. It's very sad.
Yeah. Let's get back into this.
I work at the diagnostic center.
How old is my husband?
Ma?
How old is my husband?
How old is your husband? Going to that?
Yes, it is. And I want to know.
Sincerely, I'm not going to mess it up. I would have to call the husband and get.
So he hung up so he can find out the
So
age.
I've called the husband and the husband has given me his age.
He just hung up randomly.
Tight corner.
Guess what? She's going to pick up again. Why?
Sorry, it was network.
Home.
So you were asking me something, please?
Yes, please. I want to know the ages of my husband and my 3 kids.
But your husband is 47. Your first child is 15 years old. Your second child is 12. And the last one is 5 years old.
Good.
Hello, madam. Take it easy. Hello.
Oops.
I'm hearing you, sir. I'm hearing you.
Madam, no, ma, please.
I'm sorry I shouted at first.
No, it's okay. It's definitely going to cost you some money. It will definitely cost you. We've been doing this thing for people because...
But I don't have enough money with me.
No.
How much are you talking about?
Ma, don't worry about the money. The money.
She don't cast.
What we are concerned about, people like us that work in the diagnostic center, is about a peaceful home. You're not the first person we are doing this for, but you've not still told me.
How is that home peaceful?
Are the 3 children your husband's children?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
They are not?
Yeah, just one. That's the last one. It's for my husband.
Sorry, ma, I didn't hear you. Say what?
I said they are not. Just one is for my husband. While the first 2 for my ex.
For your ex?
I can.
Wait. This video is one of the most popular videos in the last 2 weeks for obvious reasons. But again, the conversations are out there. We might as well complete the conversation properly, right? Have the nuances, right?
Oh, the X is in the corners.
The X files. We have a whole video training in the program, the 21 days boot camp. Okay. Called the X Files. It's a big deal. Something you have to pay attention to. Black Diamond says some of these Gen Zs love giving relationship advice after dating for 6 months with maximum breakfast. Voila. That's exactly where it's coming from. Premature advices, unsolicited advice. Cherish, why you come do this kind of thing now? Cherish, why? Why would you do that? I joked with my husband and told him, "Are you sure the kids are yours?" He said to me, "They could even be mine, but not yours." Wow! I love it. I love that answer. That's what I'm talking about. They could be mine and not yours. That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
how confident he is.
That's that level of confidence. Sexy, right? Imagine that kind of man. Even you yourself, you could not say, I can't play with this one. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
No. Mama, no.
It was a mistake.
A mistake.
A mistake twice?
Ma, hello? Just...
Abby?
Yeah.
Ma, just calm down. Don't
She
worry.
said a mistake.
I'll do everything about it, okay? I'll make sure that it's going to show in the diagnostics report that the alleged father is your husband. I'll take care of it. We'll talk about the financial implication later, okay?
Please.
So,
How much?
Ma, that's why I said we'll talk about it. It's 3 children we're talking about, but this time, since you said 2 are not his own, so it's
Yes.
it's the 2 children that we are going to be talking about, Ma. You said it's the last born that is not his own, right? That is his own?
Yes, the first 2 are not his, but the last one is for my husband. Hello, sir.
Allah, wow.
Hello.
Yes, I'm here, Ma. I'm here.
Yes, sir. Hello.
Oh, wow. Let me answer this really quickly. Baby, you have to show your face. They're
Am
here
I
for
not
you
showing?
today. Yes,
Oh, I'm
thank
so
you.
sorry.
I can hide.
I'm relaxed. That's
I
why.
can do the hiding for today. Okay.
Relax too much.
All right.
my story.
Let's say I can never trust anyone over the phone. Thunder, fire, devil. Until it's real. If you committed this, you will be trusting, because you have that fear that's been living in you for so many years. Yeah, you might end up trusting anything that triggers the something you're hoping you'll forget forever, that will never come out, like the highest level of secrets, right? Yeah, so she's not thinking straight right now. She's, with the cast. Yeah.
She made a mistake twice.
When is the book camp? Because no, the book camp is already live. Where is the book camp? Let me see. If you go in our descriptions, in every descriptions, is it? Oh, you know what?
It's not there.
It's not up there. But I think it might. Go to loveandprestige.com. Let me just say that. Second of all, you can message me, Man of Prestige, on IG. I think we pulled it down because we're increasing the price. Yeah, I think it comes as a bonus with the coaching program. But I think, but just message me, on the WhatsApp group. There you go. Let's do it like this. Message on the WhatsApp group. This is the WhatsApp right here. LolaandOla.com/WhatsApp, or simply text this line. WhatsApp text this line. And then join the group and ask me inside of the group. We'll take it from there. Anyone will work. All right. So let me see. Let's go back to the comments. Mistake. She said mistake. Oh.
She said it's a mistake. She made a
And
mistake
juju be
twice.
that too. That's witchcraft. Mistake. Mistake. Did she fall on the D? We can make a case for that one too, but maybe once. Twice, okay.
Twice. You know your first child is already for your ex. You went back and got another bola.
Yeah.
To have the second one. Come on. She has to deal with the consequences of her action, unfortunately. There's consequences
Hey,
for
Esther.
everything.
Yeah. Esther says husband told his wife a doctor's friend just find out his 3 children are not his husband DNA test. Husband turns around and told doctor, my wife here had my kids for me. I am 100% sure. No DNA for sure.
Wow.
No DNA for me. Wait. Husband told his wife, a doctor's friend, just found out his 3 children are not. Are you trying to bring somebody up to speed or something? I'm not sure. Maybe you can clear it up for me. I struggle to understand things like this. Like, why are you not married to your ex?
I wonder. That's a good question.
Listen,
okay.
We're talking about a situation where people keep going back to their ex. Okay, so it's not that simple.
In between.
Yeah. People can fall in love with a new husband, and then life crisis happen in the middle of the marriage, and one of the easiest low-hanging fruits for both men and women sometimes is the ex.
Because the ex is always in the corner, keeping in touch.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
Some exes.
Happy birthday.
You know,
I remembered. Like, get the hell out of here.
But it's very important for me to spell that out because if you don't know that this can happen, it can come for you from a blind spot. It can happen. Okay. It's not that, hey, you've always been in love with your ex and you went to marry another person because you're being evil. Okay. You can end up doing evil without being intentional all the way about it. Okay. And no, it doesn't take that long to be pregnant twice. Literally, all it takes is 2 times carryover. Literally, that's all it takes. Okay. A little back and forth within a period of 5 years.
So that means when she was sleeping with her ex, she wasn't sleeping with her husband?
Possibly,
what
yes.
if she's sleeping with her ex and sleeping with her husband at the same time?
That and everything in between. If she was sleeping with her husband at the same time, then there are actually people who push the baby on her husband. There are people that do that. And they are also kind of halfway surprised too. They know there's a possibility that the husband is not the owner of the child because they were having sex with 2 people at the same time. Right?
Or they see the child, like, oh shit, it looks like...
You know, they always say
like
that women always know who the actual... I'm not sure about that.
Yeah. I mean, it goes by your date of your... You look at your dates, right? Yeah. When you were dating and all that stuff. Yeah. But if you're sleeping with 2 people at the same time.
At the same time.
Then it's gonna be
it's not gonna be as cutthroat, dry, cut
so
dry.
So she probably wasn't sleeping with her husband. Maybe they were having issues. She now had to bring 2.
Yeah. Or she could just completely be in a very confused place, not excusing it, in a very confusing place where she knew exactly what she did, and then they're now on the other side of that crisis, and the ex is all the way into the past tense. But then she knew.
It still sounds terrible.
That's what I said. That's what I just said. Like, literally, please do not conflict what I'm saying with this is an evil act. Please.
Oh my God.
It's a complete terrible thing to happen to. But I don't think. I think majority of those 30%, majority of them are people that it's just a bad story altogether. It's like Asasi. It's like it's Asasi. I can explain it as Asasi. It doesn't negate the fact that this is a criminal behavior, But it's not as simple as, all along you didn't want to marry this person, you went back to your ex. No, it's not that simple. It's confusion at best.
I mean, what makes you feel like that's okay for you to do?
Which one?
That's what I'm saying. Like, what makes you feel like it's okay for you to go sleep with your ex, have babies, and keep that baby in your husband?
Yes, there's something is off. There's obviously a reason, some kind of valuable reason why you want to stay with your husband too. You want
to stay married.
Stay married. So it's not as simple, Sha. We can keep it as simple as Baba confusion, like village people doing somebody really badly, like juju type of deal, It saved everyone from problem like fraud. Yeah, it's like saying people like, instead of cheating, you just leave. I was like, it's not that simple. Yeah, like cheat before, leave before you cheat.
DNA should be mad.
This one is what you should read. You're reading delayed. Okay.
Oh.
This one we're on.
Oh, okay.
This is like, what the F? I don't play with any damn ex. My husband is the closest person to me after God. Even greetings, I know they do with the ex. That's a blessing. I want you to see that as a blessing.
Yeah.
All right? I want you to see that more as a blessing, more so than...
Still let me taste better.
more so than righteousness. And this is also a good point. Stolen meat tastes better, especially if you're in a very confused place in life, especially if you have all types of questions around your husband being in that marriage, or your wife being in that marriage. If you're in that space, for sure, stolen meat will taste better. So why don't you just tell them and just leave? See, you get it to marry. Stolen meat will taste better in that funky place. Okay? She said, oh, hell no. Even when I was single, double date was not my thing. That's a blessing. That's more of a blessing.
Sometimes these days, you see women talk about cheating and dating like they're men.
Like double dating.
Yeah, like
that's not I don't want us to mix it up. That's not relevant to this topic at all, right? That's not relevant to this topic, right? The sexual liberation is what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's not relevant to this, okay? There are married women. I want you to get this through your oblongata. There are married women and married men in a very funky place, and if a low-hanging fruit shows up, they might be just too weak.
They'll be vulnerable to
vulnerability. Vulnerable sounds better, like it, right? They might just be too weak. It doesn't make it right. What I want you to pay attention to in this space of this conversation is, if you're good, this is what I always say, if you're going to be intentional, I want you to be intentional about your emotional intelligence. That part. Not emotional about righteousness. Okay? Because if you were Jesus, we won't be having this conversation. It won't be necessary, right? If you were just holy and you can...
Even Jesus got to a point and said, God, take this cup away from me.
Jesus.
This cup is too... which kind of cup is this?
A lot of these conversations come from a place of when people end up in crisis. That's when it becomes questionable. When you have a husband that's your best friend and that's your closest friend, this is not relevant to you. Why are we talking about paternity fraud? Right?
That's crazy.
It's not relevant. Why are we talking about you talking to your ex when your husband, your wife is your homie, your lover, and your friend? You're in love. At least in and out every other day. At least. Right? There's no space, there's no room for ex. Because that takes a lot of energy to have to manage an ex. Right? So again, we're not talking to serial cheaters or people with serial cheater situations. We're talking about situations that happen to good people, but they end up committing complete fraud, criminal behavior. Maybe in the business world, an example would be you're in real estate, and I'm not speaking for personal, but I've seen it's kind of personal because I've seen friends got into this problem, colleagues. And you close one deal, you know that what they did to close that deal was kind of wrong. But you're like, you know what? I don't like that. That kind of shady. I don't want to be in trouble. But that money was so easy.
It was easy money, but it was one that will come back and haunt you.
Yeah, but it's so easy that it makes you a little bit numb to the come back and haunt you reality. Right? So
I'm not sacrificing my freedom for nobody. Not even for that kind of money.
See, it's the freedom that you're afraid of losing.
Yeah.
Not because you're righteous.
Not staying in itself.
Right?
Waiting.
So there's a difference. So when you're in a space that you have a husband who is your best friend, you don't want to do anything that will sabotage something stupid, right? That will sabotage that. It's easy to think is you being righteous. No, it's the freedom you don't want to lose.
It's the fear of losing my freedom.
Yes. But if that money comes so easy, stolen meat, remember the stolen meat thing, right? If it comes so easy to the point that ease is numbing that moral compass, right? You might just say, maybe one more time. It's not my business anyway. It's not me that did it directly. And then before you know it, you're not completely numb, and you can become an accomplice, conspiracy. You can end up in jail.
Really, especially in this America, it's so easy.
Or you end up committing paternity fraud, right?
So easy.
These are part of the conversations we're not having, that most people are not having, right? So is that justifying it? No, I'm saying if you're going to be intentional, make sure you had intentionality around emotional intelligence to it. That's all I'm saying, okay? That will give you a better chance of being quote-unquote righteous, if that's possible. Right? I know of a person who married who marry a second wife because the first didn't have male child at the time, but second wife had 4 kids, and the 3 first boys are of X, and the last daughter is only for husband. Well, if your man cannot, if he spread himself too thin, that's possible. That's very, very possible.
If you marry a woman because you think she's gonna give you a male child, that woman will go outside.
He will give you a male child.
That male child.
He will give you a male child
just
for sure.
Secure position.
You know,
and these are some of the problems.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
He will give you a male child. That's what you want, right? Yeah.
Wow.
That's what you want. Let's complete this thing though, because almost.
Yeah. Hello. I can hear you. I can hear you, ma. I can hear you.
Please, when can I call you back, please? I don't want to lose my home. I don't want to lose my marriage.
Mama, calm down, ma. Don't worry. I'll be the one to call you, and then we're going to discuss. I don't want my director to know that we have this conversation or we had this conversation. Okay, just calm down. Take it easy. Just take care of your kids.
Please give me a time. Give me a time so that I can be at peace.
Ma, I'll call you back. Okay, I'll call you back and give you the time. Okay? You know this is a weekend already and it's quite late. So I'll call you back, ma. Another day, another prank. So this man reached out to me and told me that he wants me to tell the wife that he is in the process of doing a DNA test, a paternity test, and that's sincerely, I was scared when he told me. I thought it was a joke, but man, it's for real because I'm here now. He wants to know if the children are his own. So let me call her now.
Yeah, started all over again.
She's not picking.
Yeah. Anyway.
So what would you say to a woman out there? Maybe she's watching. Her children are not her husband's.
Right.
What is she gonna do? What's she supposed to do? How can she get out of this predicament?
Well, that's a good question.
Before
I go back to the original question, how to ask for DNA test.
Right.
That's a good question.
Let's help some of these people. There's someone out there. That's their situation.
Yeah, if you have fear of any type, you need to face the fear. Right?
At the end of the day.
But when you're facing the fear, make sure you have adequate support system. Okay?
That's smart.
Please don't go and just face your husband and say this, that. You need a support system, a counselor, a coach, a pastor. Honestly, this is too serious. I will find, for someone like me, I wouldn't just handle this case. I will find a licensed therapist. I will engage the help of a licensed therapist to make sure that we cover all the bases of things that need to be covered before we go and break this news. But that fear needs to be faced. Don't justify. Like, if you notice, I talk a lot about people speaking out of place of fear all the time, right? Instead of speaking out of a place of fear, you need to identify, acknowledge the fear. This is the fear. This is what's going on. In this case, you've committed this fraud. The fear is that
you're going to lose your marriage.
You're going to lose your marriage.
That's what she's saying. Out of everything, I don't want to lose my marriage. What about those poor children?
But you've lost this marriage a long time already.
The marriage is over.
Yeah. This marriage never really existed since that fraud. I want you to
Cherish Olivia said, hey, yeah, I'm almost feeling for her. I know, right? Yeah. Even me, I started to feel bad for her, but no, this is a bad thing. And it has to be fixed. And I agree with you. The reason why I won't say she should face her fear, like you said, with the husband directly, is because we don't want her to buy. You cannot tell a man this kind of.
So now I'll tell you something. We are spirits. Okay, we are spirits, and we might not be able to put our finger on it, but there might have been some disconnect at some point in time. If that man end up on Clubhouse or somewhere where they're talking about DNA, that radar is going to go higher. It's going to feel it. Okay, and if he goes and do that DNA test behind you, and he finds out anyway,
might buy you in your sleep.
The fact that you are carrying this type of secret for so long,
it's not healthy.
There is no way it has not affected the quality of that marriage already. So you guys probably have issues already, right? Let's say in a perfect world you don't. Then in that case, there's something would trigger something, right? And God forbid he finds out by himself.
Still gonna be very bad.
So the best thing is, face that fear. What's the worst that can happen? You lose a marriage. You give a shit.
Because you're married, but you have your life, you have your children.
Who cares?
But you also could
First of all, the marriage didn't exist.
What about the kids? Let's talk about the kids now. Like this kind of impact, what it has on children.
Yeah.
Knowing that their mother just told them that that's not their father. Their father said, "What? Those are not my kids. I don't ever want to see these children again in my life." Yeah. That's heartbreaking for a child.
Right. So if that man, it's not that simple for that man. It's another thing that a lot of the young lame men don't understand.
To detach from the kids.
It's not that simple for him. He even after knowing that on paper these are not his kids, everything about his being, his identity, makes it real. Those are his kids. He's gonna have a hard time. It's not. There might be some exceptions out there, There may be some exceptions out there, but it's not easy for human beings to disconnect like that from their children that they spend so much time with.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So no, it's not that simple. It will only be simple for people that maybe they are not really connected to the idea that we're more emotional beings than we are physical stuff, all that stuff. We are literally our relationships. That's who we are.
Yeah, but what if it's just that mad?
Mad?
Yeah.
Well, mad in what sense?
I mean, I've heard
let me paint the picture of mad for you. I don't think you understand what if he's mad for you.
I've heard Daddy Free say if that happened to him, he's not taking responsibility for those.
No, let me explain mad to you. Daddy Free doesn't know what he's talking about. This is mad. He would delete everybody.
I didn't say that too, but hey.
Did you hear what I said?
He would, He
would delete everybody. That's mad.
Yeah, that's crazy.
People keep talking about this thing like it's just some physical, tangible stuff only. The madness is we're like, you know what? Delete everybody. Delete all that shit. Fantasizing about everybody is just this people on paper that can act like 1 and zeros and math. No, human beings don't work like that. That's mad. So no one should be fantasizing about what it looks like for a man to be mad who just said, I will never take care of my kids. Don't fantasize about that. This is completely a terrible, terrible, terrible act that can destroy generations.
Yeah. Unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
So that rhetoric coming from a Daddy Freeze or anybody or some 23-year-old on the internet is absolutely dangerous. It's a dangerous thing. Oh, those are not my kids, unless he doesn't have any relationship with the kids.
If it's not
in which case it wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
If it mattered at all, it's not simple as, oh, those are not my kids, I won't take care of them anyway. No.
That's true.
Shout out to Dedu. I still heard him saying, oh, I got some babies, and he still said it because he's connected to them.
Yeah.
And there's a lame weirdo on the internet who's saying he's just a simp. No, you're stupid. You don't know anything about life.
He has a relationship with those kids. It's not easy. This kind of cup, may God not give any of us in Jesus'
That's why this is not something to play with.
No, it's not.
That's the more reason why this is not something to play with. Imagine the amount of anger you're feeling as a young man, 29 years old, who is hearing this and you're like, Jesus Christ. Imagine anger. Imagine the anger that the person who is actually happening to will feel. You think it's as simple as, no, I won't take care of those kids. No. So you can't use one problem to fix another problem. You can't keep talking about this like this is some kind of on paper type of thing alone. It's not. That's not going to fix it. We need to talk about it holistically, like how does this actually affect lives, including the children, like you said? How does this affect lives? Now, what I just said, somebody just interpreted it as fear. And like, oh, well, I need to ask my wife for DNA test then.
Then after the fact,
well, sure, but remember what she said earlier on, much longer, there's consequences. So your problem is not going away because you found out that they are suddenly your babies. That's not the end of that problem. There's a reason why you were able to tag on. You could relate to this topic so much that you feel the need to do that. And that reason is deeper. I know you're thinking like, what else could be deeper? No, it's deeper than the DNA test. And that's all going to rise to the surface, and you're going to have to deal with that too. And she might be like, you don't trust me. I don't trust you either. You could have decided to delete me at night because you felt like I'm not going to stay in this marriage. Don't be shocked if that consequences come too. So you have to be ready. There's a lot. It's going to cost you a lot, right? If you do have the question and is that strong, I believe that question needs to be answered too.
Oh my God. Nata said, share we dey see for America every time. I remember that show, Maury's show. I don't know if you ever saw that
Where did
show.
you see that? Oh, okay. You're mad early. You
The Maury show.
Right.
Go, his nose is like my nose. No, his nose is like your nose. His eyes are like your eyes. Even his pee-pee is like your pee-pee.
Doesn't count.
And then they bring the paternity thing. It's like, he's not the father.
99%.
I used to be so
not
shocked.
the father.
I used to be so shocked.
We gotta be careful with this kind of topics.
It's crazy.
If we're going to talk about it, let's not just talk about it on the surface level,
Yes.
and then the people will end up in the, and then they'll be yielding returns on their insecurity investment, and they were like, well, after all, we found out these are our kids. Can we just get over it? Please come back up. No, it's not that simple. But I agree. If the question is heavy on your heart, the question needs to be answered. Face your fear. You the man too. Face your fear. Just say, hey babe, I don't know.
There has to be a good reason.
You will have to forgive me. I don't know why I'm feeling this way, but I hope you can find in you to forgive me. I want to do DNA tests of the babies. Okay? This comes back down to don't have unrealistic expectations around this. Okay? If you know what I'm about to do, right?
No.
if she's not hiding something, why is she afraid then?
No, it's not about that.
Oh, Bo.
It's not about.
Okay? If you talk that way, hard up.
Oh my God.
You're completely disconnected from our reality and this thing we call human experience. Okay? It's not that simple. Okay?
It's sad.
If she has something she's hiding, like the young lady we just heard, well, like I said, you needed the answer anyway. So at least you'll find out the answer, but you're still not going to escape the emotional damages that this is going to. So what am I saying? Ola, why are you on the fence?
They always say that. Just when you're able to reason, right? People call it on the fence. That's what I think it is. They want you to be angry.
Yeah.
Oh, Open Floor by Tima said Daddy Freeze talks out of what he experienced, either in his childhood or during his last marriage. Absolutely. And I'm actually a fan of his show. Like, I watch him sometimes, but when he's talking, I'm like,
I watch him too.
I'm like, he needs healing. That's how I actually feel bad for him, because I feel like he hasn't healed. Yeah. And he's in another marriage. And I actually feel sorry for his wife, like, because some of that energy.
Yeah, the prayer is that they don't end up in crisis. Because if they end up in crisis, that energy will come out.
It will come out.
To come out badly.
His wife.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be. The problem is that it won't be crisis about DNA or any of these topics. That's very common. It will be something very from a blind spot. Yeah. But basically, he will handle it with the same mindset and it will backfire.
Because it seemed like a very petty guy. Oh my God. I'm like, hey, child.
And then oftentimes, there's pettiness going on, and to you, you're not being petty, but the other person is receiving it as petty, and they might receive it for years. One day they will pull the rug from under you, and then you'll be like, where did that come from? Well, blind spots, from the blind spots, Daddy Freeze talks out of what he experienced. I'll make you read here. You're looking at the wrong screen.
Read, baby.
No, but you're looking at the wrong screen. You're looking at the delayed.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's fine. It doesn't matter, Kumara. Uncle, do your DNA. This is, I'm not on the fence. This is precisely what I'm saying, Cherish. Do your DNA, but if you do,
you must collect. I'm giving you the same energy.
Yeah.
Because you doing that, you've disrespected. No, you don't know what it means for a man to actually question you like that. That means like you're the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the hill.
Yeah. If you didn't commit anything.
If you didn't do anything.
The response is different if you committed something, in which case...
Then you deserve it.
You deserve it, but he's not going to escape it too. He will collect too. Just because he found out doesn't mean, and he's right. Just because it's right doesn't mean he won't collect, right? But it's going to be mad. Either way, if you have this question in your heart, make sure that it's not coming from a place of insecurity, okay? If it's coming from a place of insecurity, it's not a crime. It's just what it is.
It's not a crime,
but there's consequences.
But make sure you're not being an insecure mumu.
Yes.
Because it's a mumu move.
Yeah. And if you find out, if it's insecurity, right? And you find out, remember, insecurity is not a crime. If you find out that they were all your kids, right? Now your wife will serve you serious breakfast. Premium at all types of... Because think about it. If you don't trust her, you can harm her, and she can't trust her. I
can't trust you either.
About this topic. It doesn't make sense to think that, after all we find out is so it should be good. No. What I'm saying is, you have this question, it's already too bad for you. It's just bad. So I would just face the fear. If you're a woman and you know that this is possible, get some support and face this fear. Square is better. The other side of it, because you're also tampering with your own quality of life with this level of secret, right? You can't have peace of mind if you have carried this kind of secret.
There's no way you have peace. How do you have peace?
You can't.
With that.
You can't. And how do you ask? The main topics, how do you ask? So how would you want somebody to ask you? We know they are going to collect, right? But how would you want somebody to ask you this crazy ass question?
I can't fathom it.
You can't think of it. Okay, Tima, Embassy, I bet, help us. You said you don't mind. How would you want them to ask? Just ask, nigga. just ask, right? Just move. I would say get support, okay? Even man, if you want to ask this question, this is a question that goes deeper than just the paper.
That's your therapist.
Yeah.
Engage your pastor.
Before you ask, engage a counselor. Engage. If you're a man, the coach and the counselor will do. Your pastor will do, because they might help you assess situation and say, why do you have this doubt? Where is this coming from? And then they'll be able to say, you know what, that's what you're giving me is not enough. Just because some lame ass 22-year-old on the internet is talking, it's not enough. When we had that together with everything that you've experienced, don't tamper with your marriage in that way, And
if you have solid receipts of your wife cheating on you, feel free by all means.
You will share with your pastor first before, and then they can help you assess that situation in that way. But the idea that, you must have been moving mad, that's why it's asking, not necessarily. It could be, but that's not necessarily the case. So engage. So even if they were moving mad, and talk to a counselor first, a coach first, a therapist first, and let them help you as a support system, because again, it's a very, very sensitive thing.
Yeah.
It's not this simple,
Well, baby, you didn't read Cherished.
Yeah, I'm about to go back to it now. You're not used to being here every day, so
okay. So I don't know.
I'm about to go back to it now. That marriage will definitely hit rock bottom. Yes. People think just having that question is the rock bottom. No. Now you go further down. The rock bottom is beyond that.
Beyond it.
Yeah. But she messed up the man's life because he has to start all over.
He
will never believe
anything that comes to her.
Yeah.
Outside of buying her.
He can't believe. He will question his own identity. You destroy that man. Mm-hmm. Everything he's ever believed in, you make him start looking at women.
He will never trust women ever
in a different way ever. It's gonna take a lot of work for him to get back to even any kind of healthy place. You will start hearing them sound like, let me leave that alone. Let me leave them alone. Show with a C4. Okay, we talked about that already. I watch him too, but his energy is weird sometimes. Well, I like his show. Everything's highly entertaining now.
Yeah, he's very entertaining.
Exactly. That questioning your integrity. Real Momo move. Yeah, you be Momo.
You are a Momo man.
I feel Momo man now.
It's a very sensitive topic, honestly. I still feel like that the Tima I am today will not be offended, but that's not eliminated the consequences, whatever it looks like. Is the consequences I'm trying to spell out for this man. That's the point. You won't feel offended, but you give consequences. Wait. Nobody did you be that? You're confused. Why are you giving
Should you be that?
why are you giving consequences if you're not offended? Right? There shouldn't be consequences. But I see what you mean, because sometimes you don't mean to be vindictive for somebody not trusting you, but it's just gonna show up in your energy. Because you're questioning like where would that question come from?
Where's it coming from?
That will affect your energy, right? You will have a hard time being intimate with the person that will question you, that where they've actually proven that those are his kids, right? You will have a hard time because all this question will be lingering in your head. So I don't know if, let's say like this, being offended is not necessarily an intentional decision. It's not a choice.
It's that human thing.
It's the human thing, yeah.
It's human.
Yeah. Ask how you feel. I would rather a man does it secretly. After all, you can get the kids' ear somehow. Now here's the thing with that. What do you think about that, first of all? Your thoughts?
I should never find out. Because when I find out, I will still drag you.
Yeah.
I will be vindictive. Because I know those are your kids and you still did it secretly. I guess you can do it secretly. Just make sure I don't. That's your own secrets now. The day I find out.
The problem is that, see, especially if those are actually his kids.
Right.
If he goes to do it and you don't find out, it will eat him up.
Take it to your grave.
Yeah. He couldn't, obviously. So he went and pulled the air and he did it. He couldn't take any. This is a person who can't take shit to their grave. Obviously.
Well, so it's going to tell me later that, you know what?
He won't say it.
I did
it. It will show in his energy. Even if he does it secretly, that marriage is short. That's my point. Okay. So he will find out that's one aspect of the issue. He will be fine. But the real issue is not going to be gone. You know what I'm saying? It's like a person go digging through phone and they dig into the phone.
I feel like
they don't find anything.
Yeah.
They're still not okay.
Snooping never stops.
Yeah.
Once you start, it never stops.
The reason why they have this question is deeper than the answer to a DNA test.
Yeah.
And they won't stop until they destroy that marriage. Most likely not. Okay. Not just finding the right answer. They would think they will be happy, but again, it's not that simple. It doesn't mean if you have the question, don't find out. Do what you got to do, but you should have proper expectations. Manage your expectations. Understand that there are consequences, which is not necessarily a negative thing. It's a question that you need to answer, right? But there's going to be, you have to rebuild back from scratch again. That marriage has to be rebuilt back from scratch again. Yes, after you find out that, after all, they're your babies. There's trust issues.
But there are people saying out there that maybe DNA should be mandatory. Once you have your child like this, they should just check. That or he's not the father.
Yeah. The problem with that is that who's paying for those tests?
Okay. Those are expensive.
The government don't really give a hoot about your family issues,
they don't.
Unless there's money to be made from it. Okay, that's why people get dragged in the court of law. They pay fees, they pay lawyer fees, they pay court fees. It's money as far as these organizations are concerned, right? Well, it's structure for our society. If you can't handle your matter in your household, it will help you handle it and charge you for it, right? So when you're saying that they should just do it, well, majority of people can't afford that test. So somebody has to pay for it. So that means tax dollars has to pay for it. The only way they will pass it to make tax dollars pay for it is that everybody has to agree to it. Yeah. And it doesn't sound like something that everybody will agree to. But even, let's say in an ideal world, they actually pass it. This wouldn't be an issue anymore.
It wouldn't be. Then it would be normal.
It just be our norm, right? So will that eliminate relationship issues, trust issues, which is the actual underlying issues? No, it doesn't. Right?
If someone is insecure, they're insecure.
Yeah, it doesn't. It will eliminate the same thing. Sorry, baby, for interjecting. It will eliminate the same thing that prenups eliminate. It will protect you financially, the paper thing. Right. But it doesn't protect you from that premium breakfast. The heartbreak of this old age. It doesn't really. The only thing that protects you from the effect of the heartbreak, which is what we should be addressing, is emotional intelligence. self-awareness, self-intelligence, power intelligence.
How to get what you want.
Yeah, those are the only things that will protect you on all sides. Everything else that you're mentioning that we tend to mention will protect you on paper. Yes, nobody will steal your money. Nobody will score anything against you. Nobody will commit paternity fraud against you. But those are not the real issues. Sorry, you were trying to say something.
I forgot.
Oh, that's why it's so terrible to interject people.
40, I just start forgetting things sometimes.
Oh, no.
I have to write them down.
Don't tell these people you're 40. You look like 21, baby. Stop.
Well, I'm not. I'm 42, sir.
Oh, Lord.
I'm embracing my age.
Ask out of everything I've been through in my life, asking for my kids' DNA would not be the worst. Yeah, that's that numbness we're talking about. That's that numbness. I get you, Tima. But it's a good chance that kind of man will not make it into your life too, because of the same numbness. If he's that flaky and he's insecure, you will probably won't tolerate him.
Yeah, because some people, what I was going to say is some people, that insecurity, you don't even have to do anything to them. Once they are insecure, they will just be...
You don't have to be wrong. Everything. They will drag that marriage and relationship to the mud. It's going to last.
They're insecure.
And you're not capable of helping them. At that level I'm talking about. We're all insecure in certain mild ways.
Things, but some people are extremely insecure. Yeah. Extremely. They're always the victim of insecurity. Like, okay.
Somebody said, most men will actually do it secretly. I know how men think. Yeah, they will do it secretly, but when I go still collect.
Because they understand. No, the reason why they also do it secretly is because they don't, if it backfires, they don't want to lose the peace in their home.
Yeah. But I'm willing to bet my monthly livelihood on it that after they do it secretly, the problem no leave. It will just not be DNA questions. It will be other type of questions. He just doesn't trust himself. Yeah. And that's not a crime either. Okay?
Yeah.
Ola, the consequences is not going to be from me. Feel offended, but from his actions. Yeah, we're saying the same thing. One way, shape, form, or the other, he go collect. But let's do this, right? We have one more, maybe one more.
We do? Oh, yeah, sure.
All right. We have one more, before the babies start coming through those doors. We have one more to cover. Please, if you're watching this later, please leave a comment, questions, anything like that. Your opinions. One of your opinions, because we want to know how you're thinking about these topics,
Yeah, but this is a very serious thing that needs to be, I don't know, there needs to be a solution for this kind of situation.
The solution for the paternity fraud?
Why women feel the need to
I think
keep another person's child to another person. Like, where did we go wrong with this?
I think would you consider Nigeria and Jamaica third world countries?
They are third world.
I think the solution is kind of attached to the same factors.
Yeah.
Yes. Same factors. Okay. I think there's a reason why a typical woman in the first world, Western world, is less likely to commit this fraud.
Excuse me. Those people are more
We're talking about the percentage, not 30%. We're talking about 30%
you're talking about the high.
Right.
Please, these people are not sense over here.
Because, listen, babe. Just because it's not 30% doesn't mean people are not doing it here. We're talking about there will never be a world where it's not committed. We're talking about the percentage, right?
It's too high.
It's too high. So the same reason why they're number one, number two is I think there's a correlation between that and the economy status of that country. And if you go and fix the wrong problem and you go just collect. First of all, none of you in Nigeria and Jamaica want to pay for somebody else's DNA test. So let's all stop the cap altogether. But yeah, we'll be right back.